Alright guys, what are we working on today? Oh, big hip Betty. Man, she barely squeezes through there with those big old wide dually wheels. Gonna bring her in and show a little footage on this thing. To show kind of the whole truck first, and then we'll go over some of the details. From what I understand, it's pretty rare. It's because it's an 88. It's four-wheel drive, crew cab 3x3. If I remember right, that means you can, like the intention with the badge.
Front bench and 3 across the back bench.
Yeah, and then what else is unique? I mean, like I said, it's got the TBI, it's got AC, it's got power windows.
Dually.
Yep.
1 ton.
Dana 70 rear, Dana 60 front. And then on the rear here we did what, Brock?
We did a disc brake conversion and a super sexy diff cover.
Yeah. This is all from Rough Stuff Specialties. They kind of specialize in like the King of Hammers Ultra 4 builds, but they make cool stuff for Jeeps and whatnot as well. So
And new exhaust system too.
yeah. Cool thing we had to do, I didn't know at first, but you have to find an old 2-wheel drive steering box, and it actually bolts right in place, but then it puts the pitman arm in the correct location to be able to track back and forth this way rather than the old push-pull. You can see how cool these steering arms are. I really like them. Brian had a pretty good idea, put the steering dampener there on a piece of plate that just bolts to the spring mount. Worked out good. So that was a pretty fun project. Unfortunately the interior needs a lot of work, but like I said, we decided that we need to move on with business. We got the important stuff done, so it's got the old SN 465.
Yep.
Is that what it is? 4-speed and the MP 205 T-case underneath there, hiding, all in good shape. Made sure everything was good, topped off, spun smoothly. But yeah, interior needs a lot of work. About really the only thing left in paint. Other than that, this thing is solid. Awesome truck. Still got the cab lights. You gotta have the cowboy lights on it. Here's under the hood of the old square body. Show you a few things we did. Maybe Brian can help me remember. We did manifolds, valve cover gaskets, valve covers too, and then it's got the TBI hiding underneath there. It's the first year of the TBI for an 88 square body. What else did we do, bro?
I think we tuned it and timed it and
belts.
belts.
Nothing too major.
Change oils.
What's cool is it's got AC and it's already set up for the, what do you call that again? That type of AC?
Oh, R134.
R134.
Yep.
So we wish we kind of had a GoPro when we were building this truck, because we did a lot of cool work on it. I mean, stuff that matters, like the steering swap, disc brake conversion, all that stuff, make it run better. We actually did a full bed swap on it too. It came as a dually when it was born into this life, and when I bought it, had a straight bed on it. It's fleet side, is that what we call it?
Fleet side.
And I got lucky and found a dually bed, put back on it because it still had the dually axle under it. So we apologize. We didn't have a GoPro. YouTube wasn't really in our sights when we were first doing this. So here's the knuckle tops we were telling you guys about that bolt onto the kingpin. Again, from Rough Stuff Specialties. Pretty cool setup. Moves your steering from down here in the stock location way up here above leaf springs. Here's the driver's side. Again, there's the two-wheel drive steering box. And we'll show you guys what we're going to do out here on the ends for alignment. Just got to figure out length, right? On our... Yep.
All right, there we go. Finished product. So what we did was we drilled out 2 holes to span across these 2 bottom lug studs here, so we can fit them like so.
But anyways, Brian wants to explain to you guys the ins and outs of doing a alignment on a straight axle vehicle versus what, independent?
Yep. So essentially on a solid axle vehicle, you have 2 different tie rods. They have different styles. This is a crossover style where you have one tie rod coming from your pitman arm over here to this arm. Then you have a connecting joint that goes from this arm back over to the other arm. They also have Y style systems where this drag link here that comes from the pitman arm connects to the tie rod that connects both knuckles. But essentially adjusting them is all about the same. You have an adjustment that will adjust your steering wheel, and we're not worried about that right now. We want to make sure that the tires are going to be nice and straight. So we're going to make that adjustment off of this tie rod that connects both this knuckle with that knuckle down on the driver's side over there. And that adjustment is made right here. So what?
Nut.
Yep.
Okay.
So what we've done, we've made these angle iron plates here.
They just bolt right to the rotor.
Yep, we drilled them out.
I guess not the rotor. What is this?
They would, yeah, this is your flange, yeah. Your hub.
Yeah.
They call it different things.
Because it's a dually, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
So we bolted it here through the 2 bottom lug studs on each side. And then we can take our measurements and make sure we're nice and flat with the ground. And we can make sure that we're nice and square with each side. Once we're square, and we know that the wheels will be nice and straight.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll make that adjustment, like I said, with this tie rod here. So we'll show you guys how we do that.
And then what's beyond getting your toe in and toe out? I mean, as far as
so once we know that the tires are nice and straight and the truck can track straight down the road, then we can make adjustments here that will adjust the steering wheel back to center. You know, when you're doing this kind of in your own garage type alignment like this, the thing I would maybe advise is take the wrenches that you need in a creeper and go drive it down a nice straight road. And once you find that the kind of where you're off, you can get out, throw your creeper on the ground and your wrench, get under there, adjust the tie rod, you know, so that you know about which way it's got to go to adjust your steering wheel back to straight. Make those adjustments, because sometimes it takes a couple tries. So that's what I do. I get my creeper and a couple wrenches. And that adjustment is not going to wear your tires. It's mostly just for the convenience of your steering wheel and having it nice and straight. This adjustment here that we're doing with the angle iron is a wear point, so that's why we want to make sure that the tires are nice and straight.
And that only applies to straight axle vehicles, right? As
yes,
far as
this type of adjustment is straight axle type vehicles and older two-wheel drive vehicles maybe, you know, but independent type suspension is totally different. Anytime you mess with the adjustments on each side, you're gonna mess with your steering wheel as well.
yeah.
Also, this is only for tow. This does not mess with the camber or caster. So this is only to get the tires going straight. Camber and caster on these vehicles really is not typically necessary unless you've had some kind of bent axle issue. Eyeball the steering wheel, and there's probably better methods of doing that, but that's how we're going to do it.
Did that tow you in a little, making that adjustment?
Yes.
Sweet. All right, adjustments have been made. We're gonna throw tires back on and go drive it.
And then we can adjust our steering wheel.
All right.
So, the steering wheel has quite a lot of play in it. After a little checking and wiggling, figured out all of that play was in the steering box. Down here on the steering box, it's a little adjustment screw. Now, I really don't recommend messing with that unless you kind of have an idea of what's going on inside of one of these things. You could tighten that up and really cause some problems for yourself. But I've had experience rebuilding these things, and so I feel confident in making these adjustments and not causing any issues. So we're going to adjust that and see if we can get some of that slop taken out of the steering. All right, got her tightened up. Oh yeah, much better.
That little trick actually works really good for like off-road rigs where alignment isn't, you know,
Quite as necessary.
Yeah, right. It doesn't have to be perfect, and it gets it like really close. So
yeah, straight ahead is good enough to drive it down the trail. All right, got our alignment done. We're gonna go test drive it, straighten the steering wheel.
off to test out new steering alignment, see if our angle iron alignment rack works. What do you predict, Brian?
Seems pretty good. I
Well, it was a success, huh, Bri?
Yeah.
Way better. Like, I think the alignment shop can get it like precision, but wow, it drives good, especially for a long old boat. It's a good day, huh?
Yes, sir. All right, Braden, now that we got it all wrapped up, what's your plans with this big beast?
Well, when I bought it, I had no intentions of starting a business, so I guess it's not getting Cummins swapped. But it's further, it's far enough along. Like it's a great start for someone else. Really, all it needs is paint and interior work. It needs quite a bit of interior work, but we've done all the important stuff. Runs great, suspension's all dialed, all the upgrades we showed you. So probably gonna sell this old girl and regret it, because it is rare for the last year of the square body dually, fuel injection, 4-wheel drive, and all that. But it's all good. It's just a thing. We can find more things. So
sounds
if you're
good.
interested in it, maybe hit me up on Facebook, comments below, whatever. We can figure it out. What we working on today? Whoa, those are cool.